An accident with the use of weapons occurred in the Kyrgyz-Tajik section of the state border at 6 a.m. Border Service of the State Committee for National Security of Kyrgyzstan reported. It said that Tajik side began shelling the border detachments of Kyrgyzstan and the positions of the Kyrgyz side in the areas of Ekitash, Chirdöbö, Kummazar and Ortoboz from small arms and group weapons. Further, at 6:30, the Tajik side began mortar shelling at the area of responsibility of the Koktash border outpost of the Batken border detachment. Later, at 7:15 a.m., Tajik servicemen began shelling the Samarkandek border outpost located in the Paskarak area of the Batken region. As of 7 o'clock on September 16, 2022, the situation on the Kyrgyz-Tajik section of the state border is characterized as tense. The subdivisions of the Border Service of the Kyrgyz Republic deployed on the Kyrgyz-Tajik border in the Batken region and serving in an enhanced mode. The Border Service is making every effort to stabilize the situation and prevent the escalation of the conflict. Despite all the efforts of the Kyrgyz side to cease fire, the Tajik side continues to bring heavy military equipment to the conflict area and uses the entire available arsenal for shelling, trying to capture the territory of Kyrgyzstan, the State Committee for National Security of Kyrgyzstan state. The armed conflict on the border of Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan was once again provoked by the Tajik side. Starting from September 8th of this year, the Tajik side began to transfer its special forces to the Vorukh enclave and also prepared firing positions near the conditional state border line. Further, on September 14th at 8 a.m., the Tajik side showed armed aggression in the Bulakbashi area, starting shelling from firearms and mortars in 5 directions, including Samarkandek village. As a result, 10 civilian objects were damaged and 3 local residents were injured, including an 11-year-old child. According to operational data, as of 11 o'clock September 16, 2022, 18 people who are injured in the accident on the Kyrgyz-Tajik section of the border are in the Batken Regional United Hospital. Arzabek Borubekov, the health coordinator for the Batken region, said, "All healthcare organizations and the ambulance service in Batken region have been transferred to an enhanced mode of operation. This is a sufficient volume of blood components, medicines and medical products in hospital to provide medical care." The wounded among the military personnel of the Kyrgyz Republic and local residents are being evacuated. The Kyrgyz Border Service stated that, violating all previously reached agreements, the Tajik side treacherously attacked border and civilian facilities along the entire perimeter of Kyrgyz-Tajik state border in the Batken region. The border guards of Kyrgyzstan, in response to the armed aggression of the Tajik side, take adequate measures and use all available equipment and weapons to force the enemy to cease fire. In order to cease fire and prevent the escalation of the conflict, telephone conversations were held between Director of the Border Service of the State Committee for National Security of Kyrgyz Republic, Major General Ularbek Shasheyev, and Commander of the Border Troops of the State Committee for National Security of Tajikistan, Colonel General Rajab Ali Rahmon Ali, about holding a meeting. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Kyrgyz Republic handed a note of protest regarding the illegal and destructive actions of the Tajik border guards. Kyrgyzstan calls on the Tajik side to cease fire and direct all efforts to de-escalate the armed conflict and maintain peace and stability on the jointly guarded border. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Kyrgyz Republic handed over to the Tajik side a note of protest regarding the illegal and destructive actions of the Tajik border guards. The press service of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Kyrgyzstan Republic said that Kyrgyz side noted that on September 16, 2022, violating all previously reached agreements, the Tajik side, having pulled troops to the border of Kyrgyzstan in advance, using armed forces, heavy military equipment, treacherously attacked border and civilian facilities along the entire perimeter of Kyrgyz-Tajik state border in the Batken and Lelik regions of Batken Oblast of the Kyrgyz Republic. The Kyrgyz side demanded to strictly comply with all the reached agreements, to cease fire and withdraw military formations, and also not to create a situation that could lead to an escalation of the situation in the border areas, and again emphasized that all problems arising on the border should be resolved exclusively by political and diplomatic means, the report said. Negotiations were held today between Ministers of Foreign Affairs of Kyrgyzstan and Tajikistan Jeenbek Kulubayev and Sirojdin Muhriddin to resolve the situation on the Kyrgyz-Tajik section of the state border. The Kyrgyz Foreign Ministry again noted the need to resolve problems arising on the border exclusively by political and diplomatic means. The report said that the Kyrgyz ministry is in constant contact with a colleague from Tajikistan regarding the settlement of the difficult situation in the border area.